What is going on, my friends? Vitai Dubin is here and welcome to another episode of today's In Crypto Show. The crypto market started to show signs of recovery. The whales have been accumulating, buying the dip. The miners have not been selling and accumulating. The network for Bitcoin is at all-time high hash rate. And what have you been doing? Have been you panic selling on this dip, or are you looking at the bigger picture where Bitcoin is going and how undervalued it is, and you have been entering the market during those times? Let's discuss all of that, where Bitcoin is going, what are the crazy news that are happening right now in the market, and what are the on-chain metrics are showing us right now. So you can see the market is recovered today 2.4%, of course, after such a major crash in the last 2 months. We're seeing Bitcoin up 7% today, regaining $36,000 level. Ethereum up slightly, 4% today. Binance Coin 5%. We see Solana is recovering 10%, very nice. You know, it's not unusual, of course, after such a big dump that we see some relief rally. And of course, the question is, have we been seeing the bottoms? Is the bottom is in, or are we in for some more lows? Let's discuss that. The market is still in an extreme fear right now. And let's take a look at a zoom out. When you're in doubt, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's put in a 2 daily chart. Each candle represents 2 days. And let's take a look at the RSI. This is actually a measure of how the market, how the asset is overbought or oversold. Anything below 30 is oversold and above 70 is overbought. So let's take a look in the entire history of Bitcoin. It's only been like 5 times that we have been on a 2-day RSI below 30. In fact, we are right now at 25, and you can see the last time we have been at that low was during the March 2020 coronavirus crash, and we have seen during the lowest low of the bears. Of course, we got even lower here at about 16 on a daily RSI. It was very big. The bottom of the crypto winter was here, right there. But we have not seen too many times. The previous time was August 2015. January 2015, September 14. We've not seen that many times that low on our side. That usually is a very historically. Just been taking a look at that 5 times in the entire history. Let it sink in. We have been that low on a 2-day RSI, which means we are somewhere near the bottom. Look at what Michael Steller is doing. Is he panic selling? No, of course not. He's putting the McDonald's hat, replying to McDonald's, doing whatever it takes to acquire more Bitcoin. That's what Michael Steller is doing. The stocks start to recover today, and essentially we're seeing some big correlation right now between the stock market and the crypto markets. And look at what the richest guys in Bitcoin are doing. This is one of the richest holders of Bitcoin in the entire market. 124,000 Bitcoin was $4.5 billion. Is he panic selling? Hell no. He has actually bought 160 Bitcoin more today at $5.8 million. Here is another 328 Bitcoin. Here's another 240. He has been buying the dip this entire time, not selling, right? So that's some good things. Now, some whales have not been selling. Like, look at this guy, has been accumulating so much Bitcoin, right? This is essentially the last couple of days since January 20th to January 23rd. He's been buying ridiculous amount of Bitcoin, right? Hundreds and hundreds of Bitcoin. Well, the truth of the matter is, today he freaking sold 1,500 Bitcoin. So not even whales, some whales are not capable of withholding such crazy reality of the bear market, right? It's been green all of this time, and then boom, selling. So anyways, the founder of the Bollinger Bands, John Bollinger, is saying it's time to think about the bottoming of cryptos. His personal plan is to wait for a bottom, wait for a bounce, and look at a retest as an entry point. So we are somewhere near the bottom of crypto and how we compare this Bitcoin crash to 5 of the other biggest crashes in the history, right? Well, the biggest one occurred in 2011, where Bitcoin fell from $32 at one point due to the exploit to right about a penny, right? 99.9% drop within a day. That was the biggest drop on a daily ever, right? December 2013, Bitcoin went from $1,100 all the way to below $200. That was pretty brutal. December 2017, do you remember? We peaked at about $20,000 for Bitcoin. Then we dropped to 13,000, then went to 7,000, and finally we crashed to 3,300. It was 85% drop. So we are not there. March 2020, we have seen Bitcoin drop 50% in a day. So that was also a pretty big crash. May 2021, the recent crash of 50%, falling from 63,300 all the way to $30,000. And now and do we see the pattern? You know, maybe every 96 days, Bitcoin either makes a pullback and continues in a trend and play, or takes a reversal to the opposite trend. You can see every 96 days. So we had 96 days from $41,000 going to $64,000. It took 96 days. Then it went from $64,000 back to $30,000. It took 96 days. Then it went from $29,000 all the way to $67,000. It took 92 days. Now we're approaching 96 days. Interesting, right? Every night, how ironic is this? So something to notice. Let's take a look at other news. Solana user experience is not what it should be, according to co-founder. So we have been down a lot on Solana, and right now he's claiming that the Solana network is essentially having more complex transactions on the Solana network, and they've been slower than usual, right? Slower than usual. They went to 800 transactions per second from a typical mean about 3,000 transactions per second. So Solana has been hit hard, but they're not stopping there. They're developing, and in fact, they want to get to 50 million, 500 million transactions, signatures ASAP. Co-founder of Solana, Yakovenko, just tweeted. So there you go. Solana has a bright future. Ethereum Foundation rebrand Ethereum 2.0. They stopped talking about Ethereum 2.0. Instead, they're talking about consensus layer. So right now there is execution layer, and Ethereum 2 will be the consensus layer. Does it change anything? Does it change the roadmap? Absolutely not. We're still going to see in Ethereum 90% burn, and the supply is going to shrink. There is more burning going to happen, and less issuing. My proof of mining, proof of work is going away from Ethereum somewhere in June 2022. So I do believe it's going to cause some significant spike in the price of Ethereum, even higher than previous all-time high. So Ethereum is highly undervalued right now. US is talking about launching US digital currency. Central bank essentially digital currency by 2025. How interesting, right? That's where the world is moving. We're going to have either cryptos, or we are going to have the central bank digital currency. Which ones would you rather spend? Now, OpenSea exploit sees Bored Ape Club NFT, which usually see a floor of at least 86 Ethereum. Somebody was able to buy for $1,700 according to an exploit of an open listing. So this is something you need to be careful for. You see this guy saying, I just lost an ape, guys. I'm crying. How did this just happen? Because this ape was worth way more. You can see the floor, you know, $53,000, $200,000. This was selling right here, right, for $15,000, for $1,700. What is that? That is an exploit. That is an exploit in the listing. So if you are not careful, stuff like that can happen. Okay. Now look at this. Miners reserves hash rate keep increasing in spite of the drop, and the LTH SOPR spike before the drop. So look at this. This is the most important. Where will the limit of mining profitability come? You can see after the May drop, we see the hash rate drop. However, after this drop right here of 50%, the hash rate is at its all-time high, which means the miners are joining the game. They're not willing to sell their Bitcoin. They're investing in infrastructure, and that's a very, very good sign that we are indeed right now in the bottom. The miners are not willing to sell. Now, SHIB developers are working right now on new token burn mechanism, so that can only be a good thing for the Shiba Inu holders. If you're Shiba Inu holders, also know that soon there is a Shibaverse. The Metaverse project is coming to Shiba Inu. So interesting times, and that's definitely something that can help the Shiba Inu project go higher. Now, also remember how we were crashing back with Amazon 2001, right? 95% drop for Amazon. And those people that were holding, believing in the asset long term, they were the ones that gained the most. So at the end of the day, you know, if you believe in the asset, if you know what is doing, right, where it's headed, is into hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's its value, then you're going to just buy the dip and looking at the longer term picture, a longer term horizon, and you're not let those short term volatility crush you and panic sell you into getting out of the positions. So just remember that. Plan B said in 2016, I bought my first Bitcoin $400. March 2019, I published stock to flow model of $4,000. Now, Bitcoin dropped below 40K. Some are worried about the current dip, but I'm quite sure that Bitcoin will add another zero next couple years, embrace volatility. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Bitcoin, six-figure, above $100,000, which is 3 times higher where we are right now. The big granddaddy of Bitcoin, it's happening. But if you want to make much higher gains, look no further than Drip. Drip is performing absolutely stellar. I've been telling you guys in the last 2 months about this amazing coin. It's right now, it's sitting at all-time high of $147 and not seeing any signs of relieving its rally, creating new all-time highs every day now. And according to the new user metrics, we're seeing over 1,500 people join the network every day to stake Drip. So there you go. Drip is one of the actually less than 1% of the coins this week that actually has seen significant increase in rising, over 70% this week, while the entire market has crashed by 25, 30, 35%, 40% across the board. Very, very few coins has actually gained this week, and Drip is one of those coins getting tremendous momentums against the BNB. So BNB was just like 0.17 BNB last week for Drip. Now it's 0.4 BNB for Drip, gaining big momentum. And if you want to learn how you can make 265% net yearly staking rewards on Drip that is getting scarce and scarce, is the number 2 DeFi project on all Binance Smart Chain. The number 1 is PancakeSwap. You can go to deflationarydailyroi.com, watch my webinar, watch my interview with the founder, and why Drip is going likely accumulate to thousands of dollars per coin. Right now we are seeing this phenomenon. Less than 30,000 coins left, 29,000 coins left in the circulating supply for Drip. The supply is being dried up rather fast. So that's what I want to share with you today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope that you have not been panic selling and you're seeing the bigger picture of where we're going on. We just need to be patient. Doesn't mean that tomorrow Bitcoin will be up 40K, 42K, or the market will revive quickly. It doesn't mean that. We can stay for a while during this volatility, during this accumulation period, and then shoot to the roof. But are we going to see the 30K break? That's the question remain to be seen. We need to see how this week is going to behave. And for me, it is not that likely that we're going to see a drop below $30,000, which is the average purchase price of Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. So we'll see, guys. It's a good green day today, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Today in Crypto Show. Subscribe to the channel, smash up the like, stay up to date with what's happening with the news in the crypto markets, and I'll see you in the next episode of Today in Crypto Show.